So it's time to compare the Leopard A1A1 L44 with the Merkava Mk.1 main battle tank. And this is a highly requested comparison that you guys wanted me to do. And well, I am more than happy to see what I can do about it. So let's start with the Merkava Mk.1. Now this is the current big box premium vehicle, and honestly I would say probably one of the better tier 8 tanks in the game, but the Leopard L44 does have the Leopard 2 main gun, which is the new upcoming tier 9 vehicle. So this is basically a tier 8 with a tier 9 main gun. Well, let me tell you, this main gun slaps. 480mm is the average penetration, which definitely is going to beat the Merkava Mk.1's average penetration by a lot, and definitely will do a lot damage. But the Merkava Mk.1 does have some advantages. This thing is pretty robust. We all know that the Leopard A1A1 doesn't have a lot of armor. It's very vulnerable to incoming shells. This thing, however, this thing can eat APFSDS shells from the front. The engine is basically soaking up all the incoming hits from the front. The turret is very small, and the turret is also very tough. However, the Leopard L44 is one of the few tier 8 vehicles that are able to one-shot the Merkava from the front through the engine, and basically any ATGM will prove to be very lethal to the Merkava Mk.1. Basically, APGMs will one-shot this vehicle if you manage to hit the front low left side, I would say, but I usually aim in the middle so that the whole missile and spalling just goes right in the ammo, which is at the back of the vehicle, or I think actually some of the ammo is stored quite below the turret on the floor. I kind of forgot the X-ray view of the Merkava Mk.1, but I've been one-shotting these things with ATGMs from the front through the engine. In most cases, the average APFSDS shell will have to shoot at the Merkava 3 times. It's one of the more annoying tanks to fight, that's for sure, and I would say definitely one of the most survivable tanks in the game at the moment, at least in tier 8. Now, that was the first destroyed vehicle. And how do you play the Merkava? Well, it is definitely not the fastest. The Leopard is outmaneuvering the Merkava by a big amount. The Leopard's maneuverability is definitely a huge advantage that you have on that vehicle. Honestly, I really love to drive the Leopard because it's so fast and agile. In top tier, armor isn't really that important. However, in some very few cases, armor is actually quite important, and the Merkava is one of the vehicles where armor is actually important, since the engine does work like a buffer that you have on this vehicle that absorbs basically shells, and that's really evil, but yeah, it's pretty much the reason why the Merkava is so survivable. The engine on the front is soaking up all the incoming shells. Now the turret, while the turret is definitely not invincible, it is very tough, and you can take a lot of hits in the turret on the Merkava Mk.1. You can lose most of the crew, most of the turret crew, and you're practically immortal if the enemy can't hit the hull. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I still don't really rely on the armor on any tier 8, tier 9 or any top tier vehicle. I still use cover, but if you manage to hide the hull, the Merkava is very lethal. And in this position right here, this thing can be very useful, since it is tall enough to shoot over the rock, but at the same time also not too tall to show the turret ring or the hull. If you get hit in the hull from the side, this vehicle blows up. So definitely want to have the front to the enemy while driving the Merkava Mark 1. However, the main gun on this vehicle is very good. Not the best, definitely not the best, but it gets the job done. It's pretty much the average tier 8 gun that you will experience in the game. However, the design of the hull and the tank itself is quite unique, which does make this vehicle very fun to use. And honestly, I have very few vehicles that I actually call my favorite. Gameplay wise and performance wise, this thing is really good. It is not too difficult to drive. I have to say though, sometimes the controls when you want to turn, this is where the agility on the Leopard kicks in, because the Leopard is just much more agile, much more maneuverable, and it's easier to handle. The Merkava does appear to be a little bit sluggish in some cases. Rotating can take a while in some instances, and you have to put the vehicle in first gear or second gear if you want to move or rotate. A Leopard can practically rotate all over the place, while the Merkava can't really do that. You have to maneuver it around. It's just one of the downsides of the vehicle, but it's not really too bad. It's okay, it's manageable. So personally not really minding the lack of maneuverability. But if you are driving the Leopard or something similar, yeah, definitely can take some time to get used to. The reload on both is actually really good. There we go. That was a nice little double kill right there. The Leopard's main gun is definitely much better. There's just no denying that. That thing slaps, and that's it. That's all I have to say about the Leopard 2's main gun. I mean, it is the Leopard 2 gun, pretty much the same gun that we will see on the next version of tanks that will be released in the game very soon. Actually, I'm also excited about the Platinum Wolf platoon. Those are very fun to use usually, and I really enjoy them. They're very unique vehicles as well, so I'm very excited to see what's the next thing added. And I have been driving the Merkava a lot lately. That's true. I mean, I've done like 3 different Merkava videos in the last week, at least 3. Maybe this is the 4th, maybe even more. I don't know. It is just a very playable vehicle. It's very difficult to explain, but I really enjoy driving this. It's I've had very good battles with it, and usually if you have success with one vehicle, well, keep driving that vehicle. After all, the main goal of a game is to have fun, and this vehicle is definitely pretty fun. I have to admit though, it is very annoying to fight a Merkava Mark 1. A Merkava versus a Merkava from the front is actually quite funny to watch, because both waste like 10 shells to do any type of damage to each other, and that's pretty funny when you think about it. So yeah, the survivability on this is something that is making this vehicle worth having. I would say out of all tier 8 vehicles that I've been using, this by far has to have the best survivability that I've ever seen on a tier 8 vehicle. And what is this T-72 doing? That was kind of funny to look at. The T-72 can actually punch through the frontal armor quite easily, and through the engine as well, so tier 9 guns, tier 9 vehicles in general are able to just go through the armor without a big problem. That's one thing to keep in mind. I also can go through the armor easily. I mean, it's a PFS DS shell. We already expect that to be pretty scary, so... Also has HE ATFS. I use Hash though. Hash for the lightly armored vehicles. But the HE ATFS shell is also really good. on the Merkava Mark 1. And just like that, 10 destroyed vehicles. Honestly, I've had, on average, when I would say about 7 to 8 destroyed vehicles per game with the Merkava Mark 1 on average that I've been playing. Which is, I would say, good. I usually don't really pay attention to my statistics, but this vehicle might actually have increased my stats just a little bit. But at the same time, I don't really think that's the case, since the APGM boxes that I play usually are averaging like 9 to 10 destroyed vehicles per battle, because APGM vehicles are just, I would say, ATGM carriers, ATGM rats are definitely by far my favorite vehicle type in the game. ATGMs are just probably the best weapon in the more modern War Thunder era period that we're in, because it does a lot of damage and it's guided. You basically guide the missile in the enemy, which does work really well. And where did you see that? Where did my shell even go? That was pretty funny. Okay, I was really weird because I have absolutely no idea what happened there. My first shell just ghosted through, or didn't even... Oh well, guess I'll burn. That's fine. I'll just use the revenge bomber. Yep, that is a tandem ATGM, and those are scary. Oh well, I'll just jump in the revenge bomber and maybe get the 14th destroyed vehicle off the battle. That's actually a really good battle that I've had here. My tank will burn, but yeah, that can't be helped. I have to keep on destroying vehicles. And that's where this thing comes into play, the best revenge bomber. Now what was I saying? There we go, I burned. Oh well, that's fine. ATGM carriers, ATGM vehicles are by far my favorite vehicle type in the game. IT1, the M901, they're just peak rat experience, and let me tell you, maximum fun that I've had. And they repaired my stats a lot. They definitely helped me get some decent stats, and well, this battle was really good as well. 14 destroyed vehicles. Not bad. Well, that was the Merkava Mark 1. Usually, you know, a very playable and enjoyable main battle tank in War Thunder. Now let's go and jump to the big cat, the Leopard A1. In the early days of me playing the game, now Leopard A1A1 is one of my favorite main battle tanks. And let's see how the upgraded L44 Big Cat will perform. Now this vehicle is absolutely one of my favorite maneuverability wise, definitely the most maneuverable main battle tank on in the rank in general. The gun slaps, has a good reload, the armor is on the weak side, but you play this vehicle by being fast. Use cover and peek, shoot and fall back. Reload and repeat the process. That's how I use this vehicle. Fantastic sniper, fantastic damage, and the Leopard is all about the main gun and speed. The turret can actually bounce some shells, but I would not really be relying on that. Still can get ammo rack through the turret, so you have to be careful about that. But the main gun and the maneuverability does definitely help with that a lot, since the Leopard is a vehicle that should not be out there in the open. Obviously, That mouse just survived. Okay. Well, I guess I have to destroy the mouse the old school way. There's the mouse, and there we go. Beautiful. Right in the ammo. Now this gun has so much penetration that it will just fly straight through the whole turret of the mouse right in the ammo, which is a good thing because other APFSDS shells actually will probably stop midway through the turret of some heavily armored vehicles like the mouse. This shell, however, goes all the way through. And I think this is probably the best main gun in the whole tier, in tier 8, because I don't really remember that there is a better gun than the L44. If there is, please do tell me, because at the moment I can't really recall a better gun than the L44 in this tier. After all, that's a tier 9 gun. It's on the Leopard 2, which is one of the upcoming tanks that will be added. Rank 19 or rank 20, which to see a rank 19 or rank 20 gun on a rank 14 vehicle is pretty wild. But is it overpowered though? Well, I mean, there is tandem. I mean, you will fight tandem missiles with this, with 1.2 meters of penetration. So I would say the OP factor isn't really that noticeable with the Leopard's L44, because at the same time it's still a Leopard hull. If you get hit by a Tau 2B, your turret will pop off. If you get hit by a APGM, your turret will probably pop off as well. I mean, it's still a Leopard hull. It's, you know, paper. So if you hit the Leopard before the Leopard hits you, you win. Pretty much that's how it goes. Doesn't matter what gun you slap on this, at the end of the day, whoever shoots first is going to probably win. And this vehicle doesn't have much armor to begin with, so if you see the Leopard first, if you shoot the Leopard first, you have a higher chance of winning. Doesn't matter if the Leopard has a AL-44 or the classic 105. It's just, you know, how it goes in top tier, which is fine. But is this platoon worth to buy actually? This is a platinum mold platoon. Is it worth to buy? Yes. I had a blast with this platoon. 3 very good vehicles, 4 very good vehicles. Yeah, that worth it. Absolutely, hands down, absolutely worth it. Is the Merkava worth getting? Yes, absolutely. The Merkava is definitely worth getting because it's just very good. Plays really well. Both of these vehicles are very, very good vehicles. They do have a little difference in play style, but it's not much of a big problem. If you play the Leopard, you will also play the Merkava Mark 1 the same way. It's not a big deal. So they are both, in some cases, very similar, but at the same time quite different. And enjoying different vehicles is kind of, you know, a essence of War Thunder. I mean, this is just a game at the end of the day, and we play games to have fun. So if you enjoy the Leopard, go buy the Leopard. If you enjoy the Merkava, well, buy the Merkava. That's how I view things. If I like a skin, if I like something, I buy it. I have no, you know, if I like something, I buy it. Same as when I bought this phone that I have. However, you just saw the track on the T62 stop the L44 APFSDS shell. Oh, good old Stalinium armor never fails to amaze me. That T62 should have been destroyed in the first shell, but as you could see, it wasn't destroyed in the first shell, even though it was a hit at the side armor. So yeah, I mean, the snail will still snail at one point. Doesn't matter what shell or what main gun you're using on your vehicle. But yeah, that would be the Merkava versus Leopard A1A1 L44. Now, honestly, tough decision here that I have to make. Which one do I like more? I don't know. I think I still enjoy the Leopard A1A1 a lot more because I just love fast vehicles, but does this make the Leopard better than the Merkava? Well, not exactly. I mean, I don't really say, and I don't really like to compare tanks directly in such a way, since, for example, the Merkava is definitely a lot more survivable, much better survivability than the Leopard A1A1, but the Leopard has a much better main gun. So at the end of the day, different vehicles will have different weaknesses and different strengths. The strength of the Leopard is agility and main gun. The strengths of the Merkava is fantastic survivability and in general being a very tough vehicle to destroy. So if you prefer maneuverability, Leopard. If you prefer the tankiness of a tank, you know, kind of pun was not intended, by the way. But if you prefer a chonky vehicle, a vehicle that's, you know, much easier to use to drive, then the Merkava Mk.1 would definitely be much better for you. And with that being said, that will be the end of this little comparison for today. I'm definitely going to be comparing the next premium platoon just to see how will they compare. And well, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe. As always, I'll see you next time.